Hey everyone, today I'm going to be playing some Sonic Mania, and right now you can see kind of the opening animation they have for it, which is really cool. I really like it. It's the style of, well, it's similar to the 90s cartoon, but it's a little different too, a little cooler, and you got Knuckles in there, and the style's a little nicer. Very polished. And then very familiar home screen with Sonic up front wagging his finger. Very classic. So let's jump into it here. So you probably, or you may have already seen my, there's my gamer tag if you want to play, WineMike007. And you may have seen I made a video about my thoughts on this game, and overall very positive. And there's a few different modes. Mania mode, that's the main story. Time Attack just lets you play through the levels and try to get through them fast as you can and break records. And you can play through as the three main characters. And then Competition is a lot like the, I believe it was in Sonic 2 where they first had it, but it's where you could play two-player and race each other, and it still looks bad and compressed like it did then. So let's just jump into the main game here. Well, let's play as Sonic, and we'll start from the beginning. Well, actually, let's start it over so you could see the little story to it. We'll make a new file real quick. We'll play as Sonic here. So you can see it's got just like Sonic 3 with Tails flying the plane and Sonic on top and going to that floating island. But instead you see all these robots here, and this is what little story there is to the game. Is that Robotnik's found this time gem, and now Sonic's being sent through time. And here he is, way back at the very first level, Green Hill Zone, classic. So one of the things that I didn't really mention when I was saying some of my thoughts was the widescreen really helps a lot with Sonic. Gives you a lot more time to see what's coming up in front of you, so it's really helpful in that way versus the old 4:3 aspect ratio, and that's pretty important in a game all about speed. And usually I like to take the top routes, and they have the spinning kind of bonus game back from Sonic 3 where you have to get the blue spheres, and you activate it by having 25 rings and jumping in above a checkpoint. I think in the Sonic 3 it had to be 50 rings, so I'm glad they lessened it because that was kind of hard sometimes. And it's still pretty challenging, but this time it's not for Chaos Emeralds. There's a different game for Chaos Emeralds now. This is for some kind of medallions that seem like the more you collect, the more powers you open up, which is kind of cool. And touch one of these red orbs and you're out. So let's see if I can do well today. Oh no, oh boy. So I think we're not gonna probably, nah. Oh well. Sometimes I can actually do pretty well at those. Let's see, can Sonic make it up there? Yeah, let's just go down. And this game has a lot of different paths. I tend to do the higher paths when I can. Seems like there's a little more reward to those, but I don't really know. That's just kind of the way I do it usually. Quite a few little secrets in this one too. And you can see it looks a lot like the original Green Hill Zone, but it's also got some differences. And it's nice to have Sonic's spin dash move that he didn't have in that first game. And then you also have like the shield. And the shields I don't think came till Sonic 3, so that's kind of nice too. And I'm just kind of fooling around here too. Don't take this to be me like trying my best or anything. Although the first few levels are pretty easy, you don't really need to try that hard to do well. I like how you could bounce around with this one, it's pretty cool. Let's see if I could get... Oh, that's weird. Seems like the music glitched out on us. I haven't had that happen before yet. So far this has been a pretty glitch-free game for me compared to the old Sonics, where I used to experience quite a few glitches. Let's see what's over here. And when I play as Sonic, I tend to just try to go fast as I can usually. Although I'm going a little slower here. Let's see if I can do better this time. But when I play as Tails or Knuckles, that's when I take my time more and look for any kind of secrets I can find, or those giant rings so I could get the Chaos Emeralds. Oh no, no, no. Oh! Whoa, that was a good save. Alright, 6 more of these guys. Here we go. And we did it! So you get these little medallions, and I think the more you get, the more kind of bonus things you get in the game. And one thing that's cool on this game is that every zone ends with a boss fight. On the old games, it was only the final act of the zone would have a boss, and the other ones just had a flag to pass through. But I think that's kind of cool, and even kind of varies up the boss fights quite a bit in this one. And the first act will tend to be just some kind of roboticized thing, and then the second act will be one of those tough main 6 robots. I think they call them the hard-boiled, like Eggman thing. But by the way, I really never care for that Eggman. He'll always be Robotnik to me. So let's keep going. So the second zone of each of these, second act in the zones, is where things are quite a bit more different. Like this one of the main gimmicks is zip lines, which weren't in that game, but they were in the third. And here's actually the beginning of zone 3 in the old game. They have it hidden here, and they only have 2 acts in the game in this time, but they're pretty long, so I think it kind of makes up for it. We'll try one more of these. I know a lot of people like to kind of skip them, but I usually go for them. I find them kind of fun. They do get pretty hard though. And the longer you go, the more it speeds up, the less reaction time you get, for sure. see if I could find one of the bonus rings, and I could show you what the Chaos Emerald bonus stages are like. Those are really fun too. But I don't know where that many... Well, like I said, when I'm playing not as Sonic, I tend to find those more. When I'm Sonic, I just... go too fast. Well, we'll see if I'm able to find one of those to show you. You can see all these zip lines up here. And I like how the shields play even more of a role this time around. They really incorporated them well into the level design. They didn't really do that much in Sonic 3. So you're seeing all three of the main shields pretty quickly here. Seems like they're pretty sparing with the power-ups this time around. They're more of a commodity in the old games. I don't think there's anything there. I even saw that coming. We'll just keep going. Oh! One thing I kind of like is when you have a lot of rings and you get hit and then you lose the big rings, and it's easy to gain quite a few back. So we're ziplining. I never liked the Sonic games use the ring system though. I always found it kind of annoying. So here's our second boss. Which I think this was the last boss on the second game. I forget what they call this kind of egg thing. So, the bosses, some of them take a little strategy, but you could also kind of just power through them too. If you don't care about holding on your rings, and there's not much reason to care. So if you stay close, he'll shoot that arm out, and you could use the arm to get to him. If you stay further away, he's gonna shoot like a little Eggman bomb at me. So it's better to stay close, because then you could use it to your advantage. Ugh. But try not to get hit by it. And then of course you could use the hills to help you out here. Adios, Robotnik. Down he goes. Ah! Come on, get up here. Let's wait till there we go. Jeez, usually that's not difficult. So you look at the little extra animations Sonic has this time around, the little dance before he goes into his finger thing. Then they have these little transitions, just like Sonic 3, where you go from one zone to the next. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful here. Look at the way Robotnik flows. Look at the way those... You can see those guys have a lot of character to them in their few seconds they're shown. And I like that the story is just silent. You don't need Sonic and people giving bad dialogue and horrible voice acting. So we're at Chemical Plant, which I always really liked on Sonic 2. Let's see if we could just blast through this. We'll show you how we could play it with like a real sense of speed. This is a great one for speed too, because you got a lot of tracks. And again, the first acts are fairly similar to the original games. And then the second acts where you see a lot more new elements being added. I hate underwater levels, especially in Sonic. You get that about to die music playing stress you out. You just wiggle around if those grab you. There are parts later where you use them to move around though, where you don't want to wiggle out. Whoa! This is a part where there can be a lot of glitchiness with the blocks touching, and people could die pretty easily and get frustrated. So I try to avoid that as much as I can. There's that drowning music. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh no! Whew, that was good. That part can be a real pain if you fall in. And then you gotta backtrack. Let's try going a different route this time. Oh, we've already gone through the first. That was quick. And just these robots, they're pretty fun. A lot more fun than just running through a sign. And most of them are not too challenging. Not till the latter half of the game where you really start to get some that'll cause you some trouble and you'll have to do a few times probably. The first time I played, I didn't die until the second act boss of the garden press zone, and then that one took me a while. Which is about halfway through the game. And I like that the boss battles are pretty varied too. So now things get a little different. Because you're playing with the chemicals. So now, instead of boiling us, it's turning bouncy. And now the green one, we're really bouncing. Woo! We got these double helix lifts that are pretty cool too. It's neat to see some of these old bad guys back that were only in maybe one stage in an old Sonic. So we get to pick which direction you move this time. I won't go in there. I don't want you guys to get bored of seeing that. Nah, I just thought maybe there's something there. Oops! Well, I guess you might get bored. We'll try one more here. See if I can do it. I imagine if you played this enough, you'd have these memorized and know how many there were and stuff. Ugh. Well, I wasn't really trying my hardest to, because I didn't want you to have to watch that. That's kind of cool. Lets you have to push when you're ready to get off of that. So you're in control of when it launches you. There's a few things like that. One of the cooler new stages is an Old West theme one where you get in giant guns and then you push when you want it to shoot you. Whoa! Whoa. Yeah, this level's just got a great flow to it. Easy sense of movement. Just always momentum. That's what I like a lot about this Mania 2 that I mentioned. They do a great job of not halting your momentum like in the old game. See if there's anything over... Nope. Oh well. Shouldn't be exploring right now, I guess. We'll just go this way. But I do like to try going different directions each time and finding new parts of the levels. It is hard to kind of remember them later though. Like I found some of those secret rings I was telling you about in a lot of levels, but I couldn't tell you how to find them now. And with the size, oh, here's like a special fun boss here. You get to do a round of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine. That was a pretty cool fan servicey thing they did. Which pretty much the whole game's fan servicey, but that's still cool. So you're supposed to try to build combos, but I'm not that great at that right now. Just trying to get it done at the moment. Here, I'm working on a combo. If I get that red will come down. Let me build up a couple of yellows. There we go. So now we got a little mini 2 combo. If you're really good, you could get like probably, I've seen people do 6 combo. Yeah, it's pretty funny they decided to make this a boss though. There we go. Not too hard. And there goes Robotnik. So, now we gotta go rescue all the little animals. And let's do one more zone today. And if you guys are interested, I could do more in the future. Lights, camera, action! So this is one of the original new zones, Studiopolis, which I really like. They did a great, everything about it is just cool, and it's got a bunch of Sega references and like the signage and stuff. Yeah, but it's just really cool, and I like the bright colors, and the music. It's got great backgrounds, the scrolling of the different levels of the backgrounds. Microphones, you got paparazzis. You got all kinds of... This is a fun theme. I was a little disappointed they didn't have the casino zone, but I think this kind of makes up for it. And I'd like to see some more original zones if they do something else next time, or a totally original game, really. Hopefully you won't need to do another one. Between this and Sonic Generations, I think we're pretty good on remaking old Sonic levels for a while. Oh. Yeah, you go in the Hornet, just like Daytona, and then get zapped around by satellite. Okay. Ah, too slow. Try it here. Sonic never wants to be too slow. In this game, even though it's fast and there's a lot of tracks and stuff, it never feels like it's playing itself like sometimes felt with some of those other Sonic games, especially the ones that would switch between 3D and 2D. Then you would have these long portions where you weren't even touching anything, or maybe you're just pushing forward. There's not quite as much of that this time. Eggman. That'd be good if they just change that to Robotnik. Whoa! I didn't mean to do that. We're in a popcorn. Yeah, the whole theming of this level is pretty well done. I don't think I've ever gone in this one. Let's see what it does. Oh, let's try again. Oh, it's hard to get to, that's why. Oh, let's see where this one sends us. Hey, this is a long one. Spikes. Huh. Oh. Let's see what's down here. Whoa. See this little mosquito paparazzi's taking pictures. It's funny. Oh. Oh, and you got those Robotnik pretend power-ups you don't want to hit. Oh, here we got a pretty cool boss. So some of the bosses are pretty neat with like the way they're choreographed. That's what the original stuff like that really shines. Whoa, no rings. That's not so good. And if you don't know how to do this, basically you can't hit them directly. You just have to avoid the red missiles and only hit the big fat blue ones and then knock those into them. It can be a little tricky to get used to the momentum of the way Sonic runs in this particular section, because it's a little different because you're auto running, because this is one of the few parts of the game where it auto scrolls. So if I don't touch it, I'm just back here like this. And we got and I guess it blew up so bright it's just gone. Lights, camera, action. Alright, we'll do one more act here. Finish up the the zone. Look at that, awesome. Look at this just for a second. So cool. There's a lot to just appreciate visually. And a lot that you miss when you're just running through the levels quickly. That's kind of ironic. They spend all their time putting Easter eggs and little visual cues in a game about going so fast that you can't take the time to see those things. Don't touch him when he's spinning like that. Oh. Yeah, let's try this. Nope. No, here we go. We're in the lotto machine. Big winner. This is, you can see here where it's like a direct kind of comparison to the old casino zone, which I always enjoyed. That was one of those things where when I was a kid where I was like, this is cool, a casino. This is not something for kids, but look, I'm doing it. Let's see. Lock on. You gotta lock on your Sonic and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Your lock-on technology. Ooh. I think I'm going backwards. Let's see. What can we do here? Okay, so let's get up here. Bounce on this. Oh. Let's see, what can we do here? Secret wall, of course. Why not? And then we're... Oh, I missed it. Oh well. Well, here. I think I got a second chance with this power. Ooh, here we go. So now you can see when we go after a Chaos Emerald. So you gotta get these blue orbs here. But unlike the other one, they don't turn red, and that's how you build up your speed. And then you also need to get rings, because that's your timer. And if you run out of rings, you're done. And you collect these orbs, and see, we just went to Mach 2. And generally, you're wanting to get to Mach 3, to where you're a good speed that you could catch this UFO flying in front of us. And I think this is fairly similar to the bonus game in Sonic CD, but it also has some elements from the bonus game from the first Sonic the Hedgehog, like those birds. And it's kind of funny they visually really stick with. Oh, so that first one's pretty easy, but visually they keep it very limited and even show kind of the limitations of the old systems. Even though I'm sure they could render, well, of course they could render something a lot better now if they wanted. Oh, don't touch them when they're electrified. I was almost tempted to go in that one again, but like I said, you've seen enough of those probably. If I was playing by my, just for me, I would do it again. But I'm boring like that. Alright, we're zipping through the wires. Oh, well, that one I didn't try to do. I'm gonna give this one a real try though, see if we could do it. I don't know what the rings do for you here. Usually I don't bother collecting them because it just adds more time. So if you hit those, you gotta manually turn yourself around. And you can jump over 2 spaces basically, so it's always good to keep in mind. Alright. Oh, oh. These are the part of the game where you could walk into my house and hear me shouting when I'm playing them privately after I mess up. It's because, oh, no, oh, second chance. Just because you gotta concentrate so much, and then when you blow it, you feel bad. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to rebound from that. There we go. 2 more? Okay, let's see if I can find those. Where did I miss 2? Oh man, bummer. Alright. Whoa! No, whoa, don't touch those. Yeah, that giant robotic screen, so cool. Whoa. I always thought it was funny when you would hit into a spring and push back and then you're running really fast backwards. For some reason that always made me laugh. Oh, let's see where this takes us. If we can not fall. Whoop. I guess that was not the right way. Oh well. Oh, another gallop. Oh, we missed it though. I see. Oh no. I guess there's a back door in. Oh, we gotta run to make it go. There we go. See if any of you are the big lucky winner. Ooh, usually I don't hit that. That's nice. Whew. This is kind of a cool, easy boss. So you gotta look for the different weather effects. So when it's wind, you want to go under one of these poles, and then you could smack him when he flies overhead. When it's sunny, you want to get under him, then you could smack him as he goes down. It's pretty cool the way they do this. When it's lightning, you just want to keep moving, because lightning will appear where you're standing. If you build up enough speed, you could just jump and hit them, so you don't really need to wait for a lot of it though. Like I said, not the most challenging, but still fun. That's how I'd kind of describe these first 3 acts, really. Or 3 zones. I'm always confusing those 2. Zones and acts. Let's just call them levels and worlds. So you can see a little transition here. Now he's on the TV. That's kind of cool. They kind of dropped that towards the end of the game though, I don't know why. Alright, so we've been playing for a while. We'll wrap it up here for now. If you'd like to see me play through the rest of the game, just tell me in the comments and I'll continue. I'll save this file for that. And I'll catch you guys later.